Hi everybody. I want to tell you about my grandparents. My grandmother, Elsie Anna Furman, wrote a book about her life. Her real name is Elizabeth, just like my name, and I was named after her. She told her stories about her life to my aunt, who put them on paper with a typewriter. Then I had it put onto a PDF on a computer. So anyway, she wrote it in 1986, and she inscribed it. This book is dedicated to my granddaughter, Elizabeth, Christmas 1986. With love, your grandmother Furman. And this is the life and times of Henry and Elsie. So the story I wanted to tell you is about their courtship and their wedding. Their courtship, that is when you date and you go on dates before you get married. And so he met her at some parties in Texas when he was visiting some relatives in Texas. And then they went to a dance, and my grandmother wanted to make this other guy jealous, so my grandmother asked him to dance. And she really liked this other guy. Well, when my grandfather went back to his home in Iowa, he thought about her for 4 years. And he finally sent her a letter and asked her to marry him. And she said no. So then about 4 years later, she changed her mind. And she wrote him a letter saying, if you're still single, I would like to take you up on your marriage proposal. She mailed that letter, and she didn't want anybody to see her mail that letter, so she mailed it secretly. Well, the letter got to his home, but it fell behind the furniture, and it wasn't found until 2 months later. Finally, his brother found the letter and mailed it to him because he was living in Canada. As soon as he got the letter, he mailed her a string of pearls. So she received a string of pearls, and then she knew he still wanted to marry her.
Tell me about how smallpox affected your family.
Well, then my grandfather said he's going to come by his birthday. He's going to come go all the way to Texas on the train. And he took the train all the way down to San Francisco, California, and then he came over to Texas. He went to a barber, and the barber said, I think you have the virus, the smallpox virus, because he had bumps on his face when they were trying to cut his beard. And he gave my grandfather some cream to put all over his face and his skin because everybody was so scared of smallpox virus. It gave you high fevers. It gave you terrible rash all over your body. It left scars all over your skin, and everybody was scared. But in Dallas, they put him in quarantine in like a hospital. And so my grandmother was waiting for him, and she was so scared that he was going to have this terrible virus, and he was going to look very ugly because of the scars. So finally he showed up on Valentine's Day in her town, and they started to plan the wedding. And she was very happy because his skin was actually very beautiful and soft. And she said it was so soft it was like a baby's butt. And that's because the ointment they put on his skin burned the top layer of his skin, and he had like brand new skin underneath. And he did not have the smallpox virus very badly. So that's why I guess he was okay. And anyway, you will read the story, I hope. And this is a picture of their wedding when they finally got married. So it took over 8 years for them to decide to get married and get married. And this is my grandmother, Elsie Furman, and this is my grandfather, Henry Furman. Thank you.